Hello and welcome to another edition of the Matt Z WWE show. Be sure to leave a like and a comment on this video. Give me your thoughts and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to be talking about the Undertaker's monumental return on the 4th of March 2013, 2 days ago now. Feels like it feels like he's been back yet. No, it doesn't. I don't know why I said that, but it feels like he's been back a while, because I've been talking about this. People have been asking me questions. What does this mean for the business? Is this great for the business? Is it good for CM Punk? Is this going to further CM Punk's career? Is CM Punk going to beat The Undertaker? Well, first of all, I'll just talk about how The Undertaker returned. He basically, on Old School Raw, he opened off the show. First thing on the show, we hear the music, the gong, bong, and then his music hits, he walks out to the ramp, halfway down the ramp maybe, not even that far, and then just we go to the titles of Raw and he goes back. And then after CM Punk wins his Fatal 4-Way match to make him the #1 contender to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, The Undertaker walks down the ramp again, this time obviously targeting CM Punk. He's only gets to halfway down the ramp again and they just sort of stare at each other from distance. This is building up the feud. This is going to be great match in my opinion. We now know the three main events. The top of the card matches for WrestleMania will be Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, The Undertaker versus CM Punk, and John Cena versus The Rock. And for this match, CM Punk versus The Undertaker, do I think this will be a good match? Absolutely, yes. This is going to be a good match. Of course it is. And people saying, well, The Undertaker's not in good condition. I guarantee you he will get himself in good condition. That he wouldn't have agreed to come back if he didn't think he could work a good match. So he knows he's going to work a good match. CM Punk knows they're going to work a good match. They've had good matches before in the past, going back a few years. They had a rivalry for the World Heavyweight Championship a few years ago. And basically these two are going to have a great match. They're both good wrestlers. It's going to be a good match. And as for the winner, as for what it can do for CM Punk's career for a start, obviously a win for CM Punk would be massive. That would be, that would be huge. But I don't expect to see CM Punk win here. I expect to see The Undertaker win. But even so, I believe this is great for CM Punk because he wouldn't have had a meaningful feud going into WrestleMania if not. Yes, he could have been in the triple threat match. But the more you think about that, if you put him in that match, it's obvious he's going to lose. I know you may still think it's obvious he's going to lose this, but I just wouldn't have seen the point in inserting him into that triple threat match. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't have seen the point in it because, I know. Especially when you can, especially from a business point of view now, you've got two matches instead of one. I mean, Undertaker vs CM Punk and The Rock vs John Cena, rather than just one triple threat match. Will obviously, in my opinion, help the buy rates more. Obviously, The Undertaker being on WrestleMania, that's huge for buy rates, in my opinion. And like I was talking to someone on Twitter yesterday. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Matt Z Show, at Matt Z Show, so go follow me. But I was talking to one of my followers on Twitter, and it's not till after really WrestleMania 22 that The Undertaker did become such a big draw at WrestleMania. It's not till then that people really paid attention to the streak. Obviously then you got the match with Shawn Michaels, the two matches with Shawn Michaels, which make this, that's when it really, after the first match with Shawn Michaels, the streak became huge. And then second match Shawn Michaels, it being used as a stipulation against Shawn Michaels' career really made the streak important, and since then it has been, one of the main draws at WrestleMania for buys. And absolutely, last year, I don't doubt that it was one of the main draws. WrestleMania 26, it probably was the main draw. You've got to look at The Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels, career versus streak. It was the main event on the card. That was clearly the match of the night. That was the match they went with. I know you had John Cena, Batista on the card. You had Chris Jericho, Edge. So that was a great triple main event in my opinion. Those three main events were good matches, and but it was clearly The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels that was given the priority. That was given the go ahead, to deliver for them. They put their faith in that match, and that match repaid them. And the streak since then, even before then, like WrestleMania, you go back to WrestleMania 23 versus Batista. You go to I believe it was versus Batista. WrestleMania 24 versus Edge. The streak really meant something then. It meant something, and it was getting bigger and getting bigger and getting bigger. And we're at a point now where it is probably up there with the main draws. Obviously, The Rock and The Undertaker, in my opinion, are the two reasons people buy WrestleMania at the moment. They're the two biggest reasons, not discounting CM Punk at all, but the two biggest reasons, in my opinion, that people will buy WrestleMania as a one-off event, like for random fans, will be because one, The Undertaker's on it, and you only see him once a year, and 2, The Rock's on it, and you only see him on like 3 pay-per-views a year. Obviously, then you get Triple H on it. You only see him on 1 pay-per-view, well, 2 maybe pay-per-views a year. Brock Lesnar does 3, 4 pay-per-views a year. So all these part-time guys being thrown into this WrestleMania it gives it. Although people say, well, you know, they're part-timers, they shouldn't be still around. We should be pushing the young guys. Well, the fact of the matter is, WrestleMania is a special occasion. You know, it's a special occasion pay-per-view. You've got other pay-per-views to build up these young stars and stuff for the future. But for WrestleMania for now, it's got to have a big fight feel about it. And there's 3 matches on this card that certainly have a big fight feel about it. Obviously, The Undertaker CM Punk, which we've been talking about in this video. The Rock vs John Cena, obviously, whether you love him or you hate him, that match has a big match feel about it. And Brock Lesnar vs Triple H has a big match feel about it. So you've got 3 main events there that feel like, you know, there's not many other times of the year you could watch them. I know they're rematches, but The Rock vs John Cena only happens at WrestleMania. The Undertaker vs CM Punk will only happen at WrestleMania because The Undertaker will only appear there. Obviously, you've got the exception of Triple H vs Brock Lesnar, but that still has a big fight feel about it because Brock Lesnar, obviously, both of them rarely make appearances. So this is shaping up to be a good WrestleMania, you know, for casual fans especially, but I know some of the hardcore fans, some of the fans I speak to will say, oh, well, we don't want to see The Rock vs John Cena headline the match, but it is what it is. It was always going to happen. They've been building towards The Rock vs John Cena 2 for like 3 years, you know. The first loss was to build towards this second match. You know, you got to understand that. The WWE know what they're doing, and they've been, well, we like to think they know what they're doing, and they've been building towards The Rock vs John Cena 2 for a long time. I mean, since WrestleMania 27, when The Miz defeats John Cena with The Rock's help. That was a filler, obviously, for the next WrestleMania. And even to a certain extent, last year's WrestleMania match was to build to this year's WrestleMania match. To the redemption storyline that they decided to go with, that John Cena couldn't get it done versus The Rock. He couldn't get it done versus CM Punk. Well, he's got it done versus CM Punk now, and now it's on for him to get it done versus The Rock. And that is a predictable ending, in my opinion. John Cena will win. How he will win, mind you, is not predictable. I mean, are they going to... Because I was reading somewhere, they don't want to disappoint the hardcore fans too much. Well, if John Cena wins clean, that's going to disappoint the hardcore fans immensely, I can tell you that. And but we'll see how they go with that. So, anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you... Tell me what you think of the 3 main events, but obviously tell me what you think of The Undertaker returning, going on to face CM Punk at WrestleMania. Is that the right match for you? Or would you have rather seen CM Punk in the triple threat and The Undertaker versus maybe, you know, a Brock Lesnar or a Triple H 4, you know? I mean... I personally wouldn't have liked to see 4 Triple H Undertaker matches. That seems a bit heavy, but leave me your thoughts, opinions. Leave a like on the video if you did like it, and go ahead and subscribe for more videos. This has been the Matt Z WWE Show. Thanks for watching.